Hey, looks like we're looking at a bit more of the space bucks going on here. So, last time we did expand outwards, and we've got about 9 more planets than we did last time around. Our competitors have not quite closed the gap on us. Well, our buddies up here at Ships R Us are actually tied with us, but the thing is, we were the one that actually caught up to them, so we're actually advancing quicker than they are at this point, which is a good thing. Because, like I said, we're going to get to the point in the game where we're going to essentially end up having to choke out the other competitors from planets so that we can purchase all the routes, all the planets, all of them must be ours. And to be honest, I believe the victory condition is to be the final company. So technically, you don't have to own all the planets. You just have to crush the final competitor into submission to win. And there's some ways to do that. I mean, you can essentially drive them bankrupt. But right now, at this point, we're not really pushing on anybody. I think comparison-wise, everybody's still profitable. Yeah, I mean, our value is still lower than some of these other guys, but at the same time, they're not doing anything. They're just sitting on that money. Like, they probably have a lot of money in the bank, but they're not doing anything with it. So, I'm not concerned about them. Essentially, what that means is that when we get to the point where we have to fight them down, it might take a while to root them out, to kind of, force them out of the game, but at the same time, they won't have nearly as much planets to fall back on. They won't have the ability to profit off of their stuff once we start hitting them. And we'll kind of weasel our way into that a little later. Like I said, I kind of wait to do that kind of stuff until we get to where I can't feasibly expand any further. Technically, I could probably get all the way up to here on this side. I could literally take out, I'll go to this map here. I could probably get all these planets up to here, all through here. I'm not sure about these quite yet, and then I could probably get all these here. Now, I can't get past him here yet because we don't have the engine technology at the moment to go beyond these particular routes to bypass his planets, essentially. But right now, that pretty much cuts us off from these back half worlds here. So we're kind of looking at, like I said, pushing out this way. I also can claim these planets here pretty easily. I'm not sure. I could try to weasel around. If I could get this planet here, I would have a position where I could, if the engine technology comes out, we could hit past him and go to here and then branch out. But I don't think we'd be able to go here for a while. Eventually you'll get to the point where engine technology lets you go from, like here to over here. You can jump big chunks of space at once, but right now we're kind of limited, so we are kind of just having to jump from place to place nearby. And let's push on the blue territory first and foremost. Actually, I did have something planned before that, and my goal here is to build up a little bit more manufactured goods. Now, I have the metal facility here, or no, sorry, chemical factory. Alright, so I kind of botched that up a little bit. Well, well, you know what? I'm still gonna go ahead and do it. I was looking at this earlier, and this is a pretty good spot for a chemical facility here, because we have fuel here doing nothing. I can trade it, which is probably what I'm already doing, but both the neighbors here and here are actually very capable of handling toxic materials, and in fact want it. So this would essentially be a really good spot to transfer all these fuels into a chemical and then dump the toxic off on these two nearby planets. Now, I guess the downside to this is that I might technically need another ship to run this route from here to here to here, you know, just back and forth between these three planets, just to unload just the chemical and the toxic, but it might still be worth the money. It still might be worth doing it that way. So let me check this out real quick. We will buy the chemical industry. Yes. And dun-dun. Alright, so now we have toxic waste and, you know, yeah, I forgot to build the toxic waste, or not refinery, but the warehouse. Which I generally do just because it gives me more storage space for it. It's better than forgetting about it and coming back later and going, oh, whoops. I think there actually can be like toxic waste spills or hazards, and that'll cut into your index a bunch if that kind of stuff happens. That's kind of why I wanted to take care of it now. Now I need to make a ship. Build another ship. We don't want that though. To be honest, I would. Oh. As much as I want to put this eagle in, the value's not good. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go with this sparrow. I'm gonna go with the sparrow for now, because toxic and chemicals are two slots, and since this ship is gonna be basically only doing that, it kind of seems a little bit wasteful to get the eagle at this time. Once they're all like level 5 and 6 planets, then you might want to swap back down here and grab the eagle instead, and I can, you know, move the sparrow out to an outer planet. I can't put the hell are the cats doing, because what are the cats doing? Quit it! Ay. Zaz. I need more Zaz. So, Nunki. Go to Nunki, sir. And, oh, actually, you know what? I can... Oh, yeah. I guess since I already told it to go there, it's gotta go there first. Derp. Oh, it is there. Oh. Alright, let's build this route. Now, it's going from Nunki to Poodle, Nunki, to Bernard. That's going to be its primary objective. Now, its primary exports are going to be chemicals and toxic waste, and I can toss some people in with it too, because why not? And since both of them want toxic waste, we'll do that. People, you know what, I'm going to put food in there also. Even though both people would be more profitable, there's much more likely to have both a food and a person than it will be to have two food or two people whenever this ship comes back around. Again, there are already multiple ships going through that particular route. Until they're until, you know, Nunki is like, you know, level 5 or 6, it's better off kind of putting just one. If you have these kind of situations like this, just have one of each instead of ganging up on one particular. That way you're gonna have, there's much more likely chance to have those two spaces full as opposed to having one empty. Unless, you know, I go and if I put the wait until full, that would be a normal option, but with toxic waste you don't really want to wait until full very often. What happens is that as your guys get higher PL levels or DL levels, whatever you want to call it in this, but higher technology levels, they're less likely to produce more toxic waste, so it takes them longer to refill that resource. They just don't produce as much. So if you have them wait to do it, it's going to take them longer. So it's a lot easier not to fill, just not to make a ship that does nothing but toxic, but it's usually better off to have one that can unload a couple toxic and some other resources. Oh, wait, no. Let's do this, and then do this. And these ships are already technically running this route. I believe there's a ship route that already goes from Poodle to Nunki and all that, and goes back and forth. So, this is kind of retreading some ground here, but really the resources we want to trade are these chemicals in the toxic waste, not arms storage. We don't have arms yet. We've left them. We left them at home. Alright, I could actually... Well, no. I'll leave that there for now. Okay. That route should be good. Let's see what this ship can do. In this particular... I don't think it actually carried anything there, did it? It might not have actually gotten any... What? What's it missing there? Okay, hold on. So now you can see, yeah, we just ended up losing money because the ship hit the route and then took off with nothing in it. From Nunki to Bernard, is that what it was? That particular goof up was? Alright, so yeah, it doesn't have any toxic waste at the moment, which is, yeah. Let's let it run a little bit longer and see what happens. Alright, so the weak... Okay, so we're still getting the occasional chemical loaded out. I got nothing that time from Bernard. So, see, as you're noticing, we're kind of iffy on unloading or getting the objects out of our hold or into our hold, which is kind of negating the point of that particular route. Yeah, see, it didn't get anything there, which is kind of hurting us a little bit. Again, I could set that to wait, and we could try that. But while we're waiting, I'm going to come over here and grab some of these planets. Because, like I said, I don't... the system's out of range. Alright, well, fine. I guess we'll wait. I'm going to grab these 5, and we'll have another little cluster of 5 out here. But I want to grab them before the blue guys do. So, now where was I at? We're watching our good ship Zaz.
The active EM matrix field, SHIELD, rapidly shifts the polarity of the ship's magnetic defense grid from positive to negative. By making this shift every 9 nanoseconds, the active EM matrix field begins most aggressive attacks.
Hooray! A new shield. As far as I'm concerned, really the only upgrades that matter are the engines. The weapons and shields are real situational, so it's not something that I'm terribly concerned about. Engines, on the other hand, always are pretty much your primary system, because they're always changing the speed of what your routes, or how fast your routes are being completed, or how fast you're shipping goods between planets. So, you know, while upgrading, you know, you want to upgrade engines. At the same time, upgrading engines for systems that can't really support sending a lot of goods out can hurt you, or it can just cost you, just a waste of money essentially. So it's one of those things that you kind of have to look at and see. Now, I mean, like I said, if my plan is to come around here and kind of choke these guys out, then buying and supporting that real expensive engine is going to be kind of a money dump. But at the same time, it's letting me move into territory that I could normally not do. And so, I mean, I would have to eat those costs essentially to kind of outweigh the gain in territorial range essentially. Which is, again, it's kind of what ends up happening. Like I said, late game, I've had other, you know, old games which I remember from ye ancient days when I was a kid, but you would have, you know, ships that would hit like a planet here and then hit, you know, one way out here on the edge, and it kind of opened them up to, it would open the computer up to being able to take chunks out of your territory if you hadn't spread it out to those outer rim planets yet. So it's kind of why I'm trying to get around the edge here. And I'm gonna have to build another ship. I could, however, just build another shipyard, which would probably be easier. You know what? Let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna build a shipyard here at Eledra. That way, I mean, again, it does cost you money to do this, but if I'm gonna ever spread out destruction anyway, I'm probably gonna have another shipyard. And they're not terribly expensive. I mean, I'll get that $50,000 back before the end of this next quarter, I'm sure. Now, maybe. Need to keep an eye on that. Make sure that I'm not overthinking my. No, okay, yeah, we're still profiting enough that the numbers are going up faster than they're going down. So, yeah, we should be fine. I need one more planet in this circuit, and we will have it. Do I want to do that? Let's do that. Let us do that. And we'll make it's gonna be one of my favorite old sparrows, but it's gonna be the longer range sparrow. Oops. Oops. Where's As? If you have any ship suggestions, go ahead and toss them in the comment sections and whatnot. I'm kind of just throwing words out there and names and that kind of stuff in. I'm not really aiming for anything in particular. And I'd always rather see some more suggestions from viewers than just randomly throwing out my own inane thoughts. Okay, hey, I'm getting a lot of planets upgrading that particular wave there. And again, one of the things you're going to want to do is check on all your planets to make sure that you've got all your routes producing something, or to make sure that all your ships are loading up on all the stuff that they possibly can. Alright, so more Zaz is in effect. Let's get more Zaz going. Alright. There we go. Don't accept the route because I need to change it. You can leave the default stuff in there because, I mean, to be honest, you're probably just going to be trading all this kind of stuff anyway, and as long as you're not sitting on wait until full, it's never going to wait for any of these materials that you can't possibly have. So, I mean, it's actually not a bad idea just to kind of leave it running like this. At the same time, though, I mean, at some point you're going to want to come back through and kind of customize it a bit. You know what, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it like that for now, just so I can say, hey, just to show you what I'm talking about. Like I said, especially with these lower developed planets, you're pretty much going to cover all the bases anyway with what that default setup is. So you're still going to be unloading things, you're still going to be picking up things, you're still going to be making a profit. So it's that particular setup. What? Man. I think... no. I think Atomic is the second level engine, which means... Alright, so the Not Junkman's been hit a couple times. Now, that does kind of make me a little suspicious that maybe somebody's hiring pirates against me. I don't think you... I think that sabotage ship thing specifically is, well, like, actually try to damage it. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go and modify... Oh, not that ship. Wrong. Yes, I do. Wrong ship. Morzaz. Not Junkman is the one that keeps getting hit. Let us customize you. I'm going to equip this thing with... Okay, it has, yeah, second engine. I don't really want to change the engine so much, but let's go ahead and toss... Which one is that? That pirate just had like the brand new shield technology that just came out. And the Maser Cannon. Alright, so next time this thing rolls around, we're gonna throw down. We're gonna see if it happens again, that is. We're gonna throw down and see what happens, because I don't wanna have to pay these guys off constantly. There are some times that you're just gonna go, whoa, I don't want to, you know, risk losing that ship and that cargo. I'm just gonna pay it off. But if you do that every time, there's a good chance that... What? Fine, fix it. There's a good chance that they'll just continue doing it. I'm pretty sure that until you actually fight them back, I think the game kind of knows that, you know, oh, your particular playstyle is, well, I mean, it's not that in-depth, but I mean, it knows that, oh, you paid them off the last X time, you know, you'll probably do it again. If you get rid of those pirates, though, I'm pretty sure they're less likely to do it, unless, of course, somebody starts hiring pirates again against you. Alright, so we got... After this video, I'll go ahead and I'll root through the routes again, and we'll check out. I'll do it off camera. I'll check out, make sure the ships are hauling what they need to be hauling out. You know what? Let's check the fleet status real quick. The risky business, I believe, is that one that we put out there on the edge, which is actually profiting pretty well. So we'll leave that up there. This particular route here isn't great, but like I said, not all of them are doing anything too. Well, like I said, the DL really has a lot to do with what sort of profit level you're talking about from your planet. Which one am I looking for? No, it's not Zaz, is it? Yes, it is. So Nunki is the one that's sending this stuff out, and so what's happening is that they're not able to get that chemical out fast enough. Once their PL goes up, they'll produce that chemical faster, but they'll produce the toxic waste slower. But so long as they're pumping out that chemical, that's still something that they're selling. And what's probably happening is that Nunky's getting hit enough times that the whatever it is else that the person in the food that they're also supposed to be taking will actually be there for them to pick up by that time. So it's not really the super profitable route that it really should be, but at the same time, as the level progresses, it'll probably get up there. It'll at least that ship will pay itself off. It's at 5 now. Let's keep an eye on the planet. Doesn't seem to be loading up the people quite as fast as it was. Rather than what I assume it should. Whereas, maybe it's that big of a difference in PLs. See, we are getting a lot of overlap. That kind of, like I said, does kind of bite into your profits, and that's, I'm assuming that's why the computer does the back and forth routes a lot instead of the circular routes. They don't have a lot of overlapping ship routes. There's some there. Hey, I get into a little bit over here, but they don't have nearly as many as I do as far as overlapping routes. I mean, in fact, you know, nearly all of them have some sort of little bit of overlap at some point here and there. Is it a bad thing? So long as they're still hauling something out, you're still going to make a profit off of it. I mean, it's not going to be the big profit, or at least each, you know, stop on that particular route is not going to be the big, huge profit that it normally might be. But then again, you're still hauling stuff out each hit, so you're still hauling a lot of stuff out. And man, all right, you know what? I'll do that off camera too. Whoa. Quarter breach, thanks. I might have to. I think they have that Junkman one a couple times too. I might have to change engines. All right, and I'll check this out here too, because Vector seems to be sitting on a lot of chemicals, and it's probably something they could probably ship out more of, and still make a better profit off of. So whereas I could probably get rid of, you know, hauling some of these people and food all the time. See, like that eagle there should, yeah, we should probably put more. Probably put more in that eagle. And I kind of wanted to, not the junk man, I want the planet. I did want to get some metals started somewhere too, but you know what, I'll probably do that off camera as well. We'll find a good planet for it. I would have done Becquerel, but they actually want ore, so let's find a better option. Tysica? I think Tysica might be our choice. Alright, so next time around, expect to see some metals being produced here, and we'll tighten up. I'll tighten up some of the routes a bit better. We're still profiting, so who cares? We're making money. Have a good one, folks.